Hello, what up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Blood Splatter Chatter, Verno and the Missing Link with you to talk some VHS Halloween, brand new movie for a Horror Fest 2025 special presentation. So, what up, Link? What's going on, my dude?
Happy to be here. Happy to talk about. It's Horror Fest, so I'm excited about that. But these VHSs, I can't believe it's been a year since we already covered Beyond. Like it seems like it wasn't a year ago. But I am excited. I hopefully this turns into like an annual thing. I was telling you backstage. I think like they're not amazing. I think it's kind of. I think they've gotten better. But I think being under Shudder, the brand has gotten more focused with these themes like Halloween, Beyond. But yeah, hopefully this is something we do for years to come.
I was trying to figure out. I think the one before Beyond was that VHS 85? I'm trying to figure out if Shudder's first one since they took over the franchise was that Beyond, or I think it was the one before.
Was it 85? It could have been 85. I think that 85 was the first one.
Okay. Which I don't know. Honestly, I haven't seen, and I've seen really mixed things about it. I see, like, just today, I saw there's a little bit of buzz going around because this one's new, just in horror groups that I'm in, and you'll see a lot of people say like VHS 85 is my favorite, and then I feel like I've heard a lot of negativity about it in general. So I think it's pretty divisive. But I have not. Yeah. I'm pretty damn sure I haven't seen it. But we'll say this one came out. What is it? Today's October 6th. Came out a few days ago, October 3rd. This is the 8th installment in the franchise overall. So this is VHS 8, or VHS 8. And I would agree with you. It seems like they've, just like you said, like they've got an idea. Let's all stick to one idea. And this is like, how did they wait till 8 to do this? It's so smart.
Yeah.
It's just like you can see this becoming like growing over time, just like any holiday themed horror movie. This one could be one that people, especially found footage fans, will continue to revisit as the years go.
That's interesting you bring that up because that is something that crossed my, like, I know that is like the core of this, but could you see it kind of grown beyond where it just becomes like, I get that's the gimmick behind like the VHS shit, but could you see it like grown beyond that where it's just like cool shorts, not necessarily POV style?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. You're saying like just cool shorts outside of the found footage format?
Yeah.
Honestly, probably not. You know what I mean? You and I have both talked about it. We've been doing this channel for a couple years. How many found footage movies have we really done? Because I don't usually get into them. Even, dude, it's so weird. Like anthologies, I love to talk about them, and I do enjoy them. But at the same time, like I have like a lot of trepidation every time I go into a anthology film because it's like the worst part about a movie sometimes is that opening part where you're having to like learn the characters and learn the premise and like get settled into the movie. And that's what an anthology is. Like you do that, you find out what's going on, it's over, and you go to the next one. All right, start over. I found myself like I watched this twice. The first time that I watched it, even though I was enjoying it, and we'll go through each one individually, even though I was enjoying it, I kept shutting it off after each short. Like I'd watch one outside of the wraparound with the Diet Phantasm bit. I would watch one, I'd shut it off. I'd come back to it a little bit later, and I did that throughout all of them. But I did sit and watch the whole thing.
Yeah,
straight through today. Giggity Gagger. What up, my brother? What up, Rogue Collecting? Appreciate you guys.
It's interesting. I don't know if I remember feeling that way last year. About last year's was like I feel like I sat down and watched it. I did watch this one all the way through. But I don't know if the flow was, I can't articulate it. The pacing wasn't bad, but I don't know if there wasn't, the shorts weren't, I don't like the hooks in some of them. It wasn't like, I wasn't excited, like, oh, this seems interesting. Let me watch this. It was more, to me, these shorts were more or less more interesting towards the end for the most part. We'll get to that.
I thought it was weird. Like we'll go through each one of these individually, like I said. But kind of my experience, the first time going through it, by the end of it, like I think while I'm going through it, I'm like, this is okay. Like, this isn't as good as Beyond, maybe. And then by the time I got to the end and then looked back at each one of them individually, I was like, oh, fuck. I mean, damn. I guess they were all pretty good for the most part.
Yeah,
I thought they were all good to like above average or whatever. So
that's what I was trying to say, is like that initially, like a lot of them for me start off, I was like, man, this seems like, okay, for instance, the candy dude and the yellow suit right there, that short, when they're doing the beginning, I was like, when they're going through the candy, the dude has like the chocolate dick spoiler. I was like, man, this short is gonna suck dick just like this kid is. Or is he gonna eat? But by the end of it, I was like, okay, that was like, for the most part, I thought they kind of start off, this seems like it's gonna be lame. Right. But by the end of it, there was like a really cool hook, or like something that, yeah.
Exactly, dude. They all kind of won me over as they were going. I just heard someone say recently, talking about short films, it's like, if you have a feature-length film, you need to have interesting characters. And the characters are what really pull you through the movie. With a short, you need an interesting premise more than anything. Mm-hmm. And looking back on it, almost all of them, probably all of them, did have interesting premises. And, with different varying degrees of annoying characters, I guess, is what it is. But, okay, let's get into it. The wraparound story. Correct me if I'm wrong. Or let me set it up first, I guess. Diet Phantasm is the wraparound story, the one that you get at the beginning and then intercuts throughout the other shorts. Directed by Bryan M. Ferguson. Don't know who he is. Didn't recognize anything that he had done prior to this, which most of these guys, there's only one person in here that when I looked up their filmography that I had really seen anything that they'd done. And that was the Spanish language one. And we'll get to that.
Okay.
But basically what it is, it's like, I didn't see anything. Usually in a VHS, it'll be like, oh, these are the people that are like VHS 1. They're finding these VHSs and they're putting them in a VHS player, and that's how, like, we're seeing all these clips, right? Mm-hmm. And this one was just mirror. The wraparound story had nothing to do with the rest of the stories. It was just about these people that
just a cool commercial
testing this new soda, which is actually like demonic, or it's infested with poltergeists and shit.
Yeah.
Which my opinion on it was at first I'm like, oh, this is kind of weird that they're not doing anything like clever tying it into the other shorts at all. But then by the end of it, I realized like all it was just, it was funny in tone and it was super gory, and we got a bunch of practical effects, and it was quick and in and out. Yeah. And I was like, I guess it served its purpose. They could almost just do without a wraparound story. You don't necessarily have to do that. And that's maybe someplace where they could deviate from the format that they're kind of married to. But it was cool. But there's nothing special about it, really, overall.
I would say the best part of that was, like, I guess, seeing the final product of them advertising the commercial to, Diet Phantasm. Right. But like you said, some cool. I feel like I've seen some. Unless they've done something similar to that, I've seen that. I mean, it's not like a overly unique thing, but I feel like I've seen like that bit where they're like testing shit on people and like shit goes haywire. And was it like a CG movie? Like a Neil Bokamp, director of District 9, did like this short like anthology of like, it's like CG. It's mostly sci-fi, but I think that's where I saw it. I got to think of the name. I'll get back to you on that. But
I thought it was. Yeah, no, go ahead.
So I didn't mind that it wasn't necessary, because the overall product was entertaining. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like they did all that crazy shit, and we got like this cool gimmick mock commercial. Right. And the style was really cool of it. It seemed totally 80s, which is, this one wasn't geared towards 80s, but that one had like a really 80s vibe to it.
Right, that's a good point now that I think about it, because that was definitely set in the 80s. But were any of the other ones?
Yeah, no, I think they're all like modern day, bro, for the most part.
Maybe that kid print one, and I only say that because I think they had like VHS tapes that the kids were on. But other than that, you're right. It wasn't like it wasn't really jumping out at you that it was 80s if it was for any of them.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. But it did jump out at least that it was Halloween, which was cool. I mean, that's one of the things that really is going to stand out about this one. But let's get into the first one, called Coochie Coochie Coo by Anna Zlavakovic. Something like that.
I like that.
And basically, this one, we've got these two deviant little teenagers that are about to go off to high school. This is the first of two groups of older people that we'll meet that go trick-or-treating. And that someone says, "Aren't you kids a little too old for this?"
When that happened, I was like, I was like, am I having deja vu? And I was like, no, they just repeated the same line in two different shorts,
Right, and it is a very like you could see that coming up multiple times in a
Yeah.
VHS Halloween short type thing. But basically these two young girls, they're going out there, they're raising hell, they're stealing kids' candies and they're fucking off right before they go to college, and they see this one, like they think it's just a haunted house attraction, and they go into it, and it is pretty much like a haunted house, the feel of it. But the whole theme is that there's this crazy mama ghost inside. She's got like 6 titties. She's dripping baby milk all over the floor. And evidently, when you go inside of this haunted house, you drink her milk, you become like this weird baby zombie thing. They never really cleared up.
Yeah.
They just give it a little bit of lore where we see a picture that she hung herself back in the day. But as my wife is trying her best to distract me, at least she looks great while she's doing it.
Hey, matches the
Yeah, that's her baby daddy. All right, get out of here. But I thought it was good. It's the perfect example of what I'm talking about, where that one won me over by the end of it, like aesthetically, with the vibe and shit. Sometimes like the acting right off the bat will really annoy me, and then by the end of it, I'm like, okay, whatever. That's like what they're kind of going
they're
for.
supposed to, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But it was good. It was good. It wasn't one of my favorites, but it was like kind of above average by the time it got to the end of it.
Yeah, that same here. I kind of thought they're annoying, but that was like at the end of the day, they're supposed to be obnoxious, annoying teenagers. But I like the look of this is like I could see something like this is like a lot of these almost feel like pitches for full length like projects. Like, let me see what you can do in 15 minutes with this idea, and if it gets a good response or something, we'll turn this into a. Because I could see like the look of this lady and like her to lore, or, like what she does to people. That'd be kind of make for an interesting full length feature. You know,
Right.
like the man baby stuff, like the cheeks. That kind of reminded me of You read Morrison's Batman and Robin, Frank Quitely?
Yes,
Remember
it's been a hot minute.
the doll face people and shit that Mr. Pig, Professor Pig was turning into like doll faces or whatever, like with the rosy cheeks and shit.
Not really. It did have a unique look. I'm looking right now.
Yeah.
Have any of the VHS shorts become feature length movies? Siren, the movie Siren came out of, I think maybe that was like the first short in VHS. You remember that? I could be wrong about that. Anyway, I'll just read what it says. Yes, a prime example of VHS shorts evolving into movies, which began in 2012, would be son of a bitch. Oh, the film The Nobodies was written and directed and edited on VHS and features the film Siren. Son of a bitch. Maybe this wasn't the best way to try to do this. The Nobodies seems to be the skit, and it became the Sirens, if I have that right. So I guess it has happened a couple times.
Okay. I mean, you know, and I wouldn't be surprised because shit, we've got like, remember in Grindhouse, the mock trailers, we got like 3 movies turned out of those bitches.
Right.
Like Thanksgiving, The Hobo with the Shotgun. So
right, and there's been so many VHS shorts, and for there only to be one that I can confirm and possibly 2, that's interesting. And you would think, they're so damn easy, it's so damn cheap to make these.
Yeah.
No, I don't know Dolly. Do you know what? Remember the movie Dolly? She was like a female
No.
Chucky.
I'm gonna check that out though.
Found footage horror, high on saying. What up, guys? Appreciate you. The Violator. Fucking great name. Great name, brother. Yeah, I guess I don't have a whole lot to say about that one.
I think
did you get anything out of like the lore behind it? Her bit was she was pregnant, she hung herself, and she had written in that notebook, "I died to be free." And she's pregnant. Like, did she killed herself to be free of her baby? But then as it goes, she turns people into babies. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm digging too deep into it, but did you get anything there?
See, no, I was just gonna say, I think like there's potential for for me, it was more like the look and the atmosphere, like, they have potential to build lore mythos, but it wasn't like that. Okay, for instance, like a lot of the time we spent with like the chicks fucking off at the even though they're all kind of short, but it's like we could have had like a hint of like, oh no, or a mention of the house in conversation, or that looks like old fucking Mother Mayer's house or whatever her name is, and it's like, a little bit of backstory of them kind of just fucking off and like, you know, friends telling us the backstory and then the other friends not taking it serious. But for the
Right.
audience, we're getting info, but none of that was really done. So I think it was just more based off the look, the visual aesthetic.
They had two little things before they got to the house. The kids came up and just said something.
Oh
Mama's
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
get you. Mama's gonna get you. And they're like, that's not real. So there's kind of a hint that there is some kind of like
Or the missing
urban legend.
cheerleader.
Yeah, and they
Yeah,
mentioned that a girl went missing around here, and she does pop up in there. So I mean, it was good. It was good.
yeah.
It was really well shot. I thought almost all of these were like, you know, they're VHS, they're found footage. You know, they're all crazy, but the production value for what they were was pretty high, especially like I said with the look of the place and the
Yeah,
acting grew.
I caught myself being a somewhat of a just nitpicking. It could just because this is all. I guess this is just indicative of a lot of found footage movies. It's like, you know, where the mother or whatever is creeping up the stairs and they're around the doorway peeking around the corner, but their light is on, and I'm like, bitch, she sees you. Like it doesn't matter if you're peeking around the corner, she sees the reflection of the light.
Yeah.
But it's like you can't have that happen without it. Like the movie would so.
I remember when we watched VHS Beyond, there was like a really good reason in almost everyone for them to be filming.
For the
And
yes,
you almost never had to question it, which is a big thing for me in found footage.
yeah.
With this one, there was a lot. There was a lot of kind of wondering why they're still filming. And I think a couple times they have it because, there's a light on the camera. So it's like, okay,
yeah.
you just happen to be catching everything because there's a light on the camera. Fair enough, I guess. Later on, the one in kid print, which we'll get to, the reason is like, there's a string of child abductions. Let's film everything just in case. It's like, okay, buddy. All right. Like you're gonna do that before digital, even. He's got
that one was like a camcorder footage and shit like that.
Violators say, I don't know if this is what you meant. It was the 90s. I don't know if you're talking about a different thing at this point, or if you're talking about this whole VHS Halloween was in the 90s, which would make sense. That could I would buy that. Violator says, my mom let me watch R-rated movies at a young age, as did mine, brother. As did mine. All right, so let's go ahead. We don't gotta rate these individually. I was tempted to. You know what? Fuck it. I mean, I will.
Sure.
Let's do it. I'll give this one. Let's go. For some reason, brother, I don't know why. Certain things I want to give them a letter grade. This one, I want to do letter grades because there's something about it seems easy to me. What I wrote down, I only wrote down a letter grade for one of them, and it was this one. It was B-. I feel even us talking about it makes me feel like I want it to be lower now. But whatever. That's what I wrote down when I finished it for the second time because there is something there.
Yeah, that's fair. That's solid. And it's crazy to say that because in my head I was like initially I thought B-, but I was like it's in between a B- or C+.
Right.
But I'll go B- since that was my initial thought because like you said there is something there for this to just be a short. You know, there's a premise or something that I think like you know we've been talking about. They could develop the mythos, turn her into like a legend or something like that. It could be really cool, like especially if the look of the people. And you know, maybe she's just not killing herself. Like maybe it's a situation where she like infects people and they become her minions, and she's got like zombie foot soldiers, baby looking, you know, shit like that. It could be interesting.
Which is maybe why it's cool that they didn't. Because as I'm going into it, I'm like, there's no way they're going to wrap this up, and I kind of just accept that they're not really going to explain what the hell is going on, which is cool if they want to go further. Even like the scene at the beginning, it was like really visually cool. Like when they first show up to the haunted house. And the doors open up and it's pitch black, and you just see her hand out or hold out the bucket of candy, and it's all you can see.
Yeah.
Sucks it back in. And the other thing I was going to say at the end, like once they're down in the basement, Mama's there with all of her babies around her, and then the main character goes up and puts her head on the shoulder. Like that looked like something you would see like in a movie. That could be the climax. It was very like cinematic, you know, really looked good.
That was creepy though, that song. There was hints of stuff like, you know, when she started, like if she touched you or something, like if she started singing, if you heard her song, you would fall the fuck asleep or some weird shit. Like there was interesting stuff, just not enough to establish what was going on.
Right. And I just couldn't get like into the scariness of it. Like it was, I could see people being like, oh, that was a scary ass thing. There was just something about the vibe and like the acting and the energy with the acting that didn't like set the atmosphere for me to actually like find it spooky.
Yeah.
But yes, I did see this once. I did see that one. A buddy of mine recommended that to me.
Gotta check that out.
Yeah, and I enjoyed it. K Oja Says rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Well, all right, it's a little bit off subject, but yeah. All right, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Didn't see that one coming. Appreciate you, Koja. All right, let's jump into another one here. Oh shit, I got visual representations. I could have showed this. This is the bit of the wraparound that I didn't show you. Diet Phantasm. And let's get into this is the best image I could find for this one. This is
As above.
I feel like the last one had a Spanish language one, or at least a foreign language short in it. I wonder if that's something that they've been doing for a while, but I think it's cool. Like you and I,
Yeah,
both,
I think
you know,
they had a
I really enjoy it. Like there's so many good foreign horror movies that I like that they, you get some representation from that side of the things. And this is the one guy that's actually a name. Paco Plaza was the co-creator of the Wreck franchise. He co-directed and co-wrote and created Wreck. So that's pretty dope.
That makes a lot of sense. I was just gonna say, with like, I in my experience, I've noticed like a lot of Spanish filmmakers do quite well when it comes to like, or that's like that maybe not the niche, but a lot of like possession movies. They do
Yes.
like Wreck was a possession zombie.
Right.
Ghost movies they do quite well. Like possession with ghosts and zombies. That possession idea they do quite well.
When Evil Lurks.
Not what was it? What is it?
When Evil Lurks.
Evil, yes.
Super badass.
And I'm not surprised. You know what? It's crazy. This one felt like the most. I was gonna tell you this one is probably my favorite, just because it felt like the most well thought out and professionally done.
Agreed. Most well shot, most well written, and best acting.
Yeah,
I think so.
It had me. You know what? And it's crazy because obviously the theme of was the whole idea is as above, so below, whatever. But that they made a movie off of that a few years ago, and it's okay. I've only seen it one time, but I've wanted to revisit it, and this movie right here reminded me of that movie. I was like, God damn it, maybe I need to give that one another chance. So it's like I give that one credit because
I've always seen that, or I've seen that the movie out there. I've heard of it.
The trailer, yeah, it's worth checking out, and it's found footage too. So it's it was cool. Yeah.
So the premise for this one's got a really cool structure. It keeps cutting back and forth between the aftermath of this event and the event itself. And basically, the night before on Halloween night, you got this group of friends, you got a girl filming the whole thing, and they go to this haunted house, or like something set up like a haunted house in a way. They get to this spot, and you find out this one girl is kind of lured all of her friends there with her. And there's this magic fucking telephone that starts to ring. And she's like, do not answer that phone. And this one guy's like, I'm going to answer it. And basically, when he does, he starts shaking. He becomes possessed, and then we don't see what happened, and we just know that everybody died. But as they're telling us that, they keep cutting back to the next day, where they've just got the sole survivor from this party, bringing the cops there to the massacre, and it keeps cutting back between the night with all this excitement and all these friends and all this buzz to the aftermath, and this really official, quiet police investigation. They're going through the same area at night, and that was one of my favorite things about it. It's like the intercut, you're feeling the atmosphere of the Halloween night, and then cutting to the next day and knowing that you're leading to the same thing, because that's basically what it is. We really find out what happened on Halloween night when the kid goes back there with the cops, and it all kind of happens again, and we witness it there, and then we can assume what happened the night before. It was kind of brilliant, man. Structurally, I thought it was really, really fucking good.
Yeah, and then it's doing the whole intercutting shit where it's it wasn't a lot of it, but it's a question they asked in the present, as we're getting the answer, it does a flashback to show, reveal it, what happened to how did this shit happen to the kids at the party. Just really, really well shot. The ending, I don't know, that was shit really, that was creepy, and it was trippy, and it's just the whole as above so below shit where it's everything's just flipped, how they got raised to the ceiling, and then somehow Stu? They were on the ground, and it was a trip. It definitely did its job. It's
really cool.
It makes sense. This guy's, if he's the only one who's actually done some full length features.
Right. I thought it was so cool. It took me a minute to realize what the hell was they all float up like they're in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, kind of, and then they end up on the ceiling, and then you get that view. They're on the ceiling, and then you see a door open and a guy
Yeah.
walk out like on the ceiling, like as above, so below. Like he's on that level, he is on the floor or whatever. It was really fucking cool. And even like the way that the camera in that moment lingered on that one cop, and then you see him going all around, like just like the directing in this one, I thought was a lot better. Not that there was bad directing in the other ones, but it was more cinematic,
Way
and like
more.
really, really professional. You could tell this guy had the chops. How about the dude puking out all the eyeballs too? That was
Oh my god,
that was
dog,
insane.
dog. That this yeah. I was thinking of the scene at the end where he's like gouging the eyes out with his fingers, and I'm like, that's a shot for a trailer where you just show like someone,
Right.
that chick just screaming, but she can't move. But yeah, my man I was sitting there thinking like, yeah, I mean, it's a crazy thought, but I was like, if he's not dead, he's definitely dead now. Like, I know he's possessed and shit, but it was like, how can he keep puking up those eyeballs and not be suffocating or some shit like that, you know, or choking on that shit.
Right.
But yeah, gnarly shit, very gnarly.
It was,
I feel like the first one was a good primer, good lead in.
mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah. And this one was kind of definitely like, okay, sets the tone. This isn't gonna. Or the first one kind of almost seems. Some of these seemed a little aimed at teenagers, which is not bad. But
I think the whole series is aimed at younger audience, not like necessarily teens, but people a little bit younger than us. I just, it seems to me that more people younger than me are into found footage in general.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I mean, they're so used to recording everything, and you know, it's fucking Snapchat and Facebook, Instagram videos, and
KO just says, "What possessed him?" I have no fucking idea, bro.
and
this is what I'm saying. Like, that's one of the kind of cool things about a short compared to a movie. It's one of the frustrating things, but you don't feel the need. Like, as a viewer that sat down for an hour and a half to watch a movie, if you leave with no answers, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
15 minutes, you don't get any answers. It's like, okay, that was fun. That was cool. What's next? So it's got to be a hell of a lot easier to write one of these things.
Absolutely.
Violator says, when dude got stuck in the cave and the bones slapped him. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh, wait, I think at the part in the underground party, I don't really remember that scene either, but
there was a lot of fucking chaos in this movie. There was a lot of crazy. Even the whole wraparound story with the dying phantasm. I'm like, I'm not going to really remember anything what happened or any bit that happened in these because it's so much chaos throughout.
Yeah,
it was a weird choice to have such a chaotic wraparound story. Like in between each, it didn't slow down much. It was always like really fucking intense,
amping up. Yeah.
But all right, you want to go ahead and kick it off? Give us your grade for this one.
This one I will give in turn. I think this one is an A, solid A, just because, you know, like it's a short, it's effective, gnarly scenes.
That bone slapping.
Okay. Yeah. We gotta recover that one. But no, yeah, I give this one an A. It does what it was supposed to do. Like it nailed the criteria.
Hell yeah, I agree, man. I will go with an A. This one, well, I guess we'll find out by the end of it. But yeah, this one was probably my favorite. Just to repeat myself, but most well written one, best acting, best cinematography, most professionally looking, well made one. It's weird when it's in a foreign language. I'm like, oh, that acting was great. It's like maybe it wasn't. maybe if I spoke Spanish, but it just seemed like the look on their faces is a lot of times. It's just like that tone. There's that tone we talked about it before. There's a certain like found footage tone that people have that sometimes I can find really fucking irritating.
This one is the one that kind of had me question. I was like, because even though it's found footage, it's not so obvious like all the other ones where shaky cam, we're in people's faces. Like it's evident, but it's not blatant. But this is the short that had me questioning. I was like, do they all need to kind of be like crazy found footage style, you know, shorts? But yeah, shout out to this one.
Hell yeah. So an A for both of us. So far we are right in sync, my brother. All right, so next one up. This is the image that I've been seeing a lot. This is what I'm already seeing, like Shudder trying to say, like introducing the new horror icon, whatever the fuck this guy is. This one's called Fun Size by Casper Kelly. Again, I looked into him, didn't really hadn't seen anything that he's done, hadn't done a whole hell of a lot. The premise for this one is basically we have a group of friends, there's another group of adults that are going trick or treat, and they go up to a porch, and there's a bucket and it says, "Please take one." They take, long story short, they take more than one, and the dude gets sucked into the candy jar or bowl, and all of a sudden they're all sucked into this candy bowl, and they're like in a basement now, and it's like magical. It's not like they got sucked in like physically. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like, you can't see where they go. Yeah, there's like a portal that they go through. They end up in what seems like a basement of sorts, and then in the basement, what they find out is the candy that they were eating is made. Like, there's a conveyor belt down there. People get in the conveyor belt. It chops them up. It chops their dick and their balls off specifically, and other parts. And it puts some caramel and some nuts and some chocolate on there, and it packages them
candy,
up.
Baby.
And that's what's up in that bowl above. And it was, dude, like the acting in this one right off the bat. I'm like, oh my God, like, this is
terrible,
so bad, and like such like this weird, like, I don't know, like, we're all so fake and like blah, blah,
goofy.
Blah. Like,
I thought it was
but by the end of it, it did, like, that was the tone that it seemed that they were like going for. It's called Fun Size. This was supposed to be really wacky, and even someone like the choices, like the one boyfriend that was dressed up as the found footage cameraman, he was really like, hey, like, I don't know, like, but by the end of it, like, okay, they had something set up where this girl, his girlfriend, wanted to break up with him, and then he wants to marry her. And like, as the audience, we kind of needed him to be that big of a douchebag for us to kind of get like the moment there in that short of a time. So it was kind of like their overacting was a shortcut to tell that story in a way.
Yeah.
But by the end of it, I was kind of sold on it. It won me over by the end, but I fucking hated it at the start.
Yeah, this one, cool idea, but I feel like just it was aimed at like Slender Man, Fortnite, Five Nights at Freddy's crowd, which are all younger kids. Younger audience, I would say, but this one wasn't terrible, but like the acting really took me out of it. I was like, I thought that it was going to be revealed that these guys were acting in a movie within a movie at first. That's why they were acting so over. Hey, right. You know, all candy is fucking the corporate sellout, and like I was like, what is going on? Like, sour candy. I hate sour candy. It was like, bro, like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Stu saying Fun Size was the only one he didn't really enjoy. Yeah, I could feel that.
Yeah, the idea is cool, I guess, with the dude and the can. I don't know. There's some weird stretches, like when the dude's eating the Twinkie chocolate dick or whatever, and it's like oozing out his mouth. Yeah, he's like doing
It was funny though. Like, I really laughed at a lot of moments, especially there's something about it on the second watch for me that I found it a lot funnier. I was less annoyed by him.
One scene I did crack up on was the proposal scene where she's like, I do not. He's like, and he like fucking gets pulled back. You know?
The other one, the blonde, like that was whatever, the blonde one, the kind of ditzy one. Shit starts to go haywire. Her boyfriend gets killed, and she's like, "I'm just gonna end it." She's gonna climb on the conveyor belt. I found that funny for whatever reason.
You find a more dignity. I don't know. I'd rather get swooped up by the monster at that point. That doesn't seem like a pleasant way to go. The conveyor belt,
the candy up the ass. I think that was her. Like, dying with the candy up the ass. You see it gets turned down with this hose full of candy, and then it shoots out of her face, and her head like explodes. It kind of looked like shit, cool. But it kind of looked. I don't know. By the end of it, like I said, I thought it was pretty fucking funny. Like, I would like to see another one with this character in it, but it still wasn't that great.
You know what? To that effect, I don't want to even put him on. He's nowhere near Art the Clown's level, but I could see like some of his gimmicks being evolved to become more refined, scarier. You know,
right. Like for sure, because it's a good look.
Yeah, right in color. You just gotta find the right place to put him in. Definitely like have him like a crossover between him and Five Nights at Freddy's or some shit, bro. Like a versus movie, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, it was a cool idea. Don't get me like this, because I've heard of shit like this, like the unending basement. Like there's like creepypasta stories for shit like this. There's a never-ending basement and shit, and a monster chases you. I think people made games off of it, but they're playing with like, you know, a lot of like Gen Y
Right.
horror lore with
I
this
like
one.
KO Joe coming through with the jokes. He says, I enjoyed bits and parts of this segment. A waka waka. Big Stu
You like
saying it
that
was
candy
funny
bit.
when old girl just said, fuck it, I'm over it, and jumped on the conveyor belt. That's what I'm saying. You guys, if you guys comic fans out there, make sure you go and check out our brother, Dr. I always want to call him Dr. fucking Doom. Stu over at Dr. Doom's fan club, doing a great job talking comics on the reg. Yeah, she was like crawling towards it. It was so fun. I really thought that was funny. The second time it kind of cracked me up. The monster ghost shoved a candy tube up her ass. Yeah, no bueno, man. No bueno.
I like how he when they cut off his hand, like he it was a little interesting with the fun size, annoying at the same time.
Right.
But you know, he was like made out of Skittles and shit. Like he was just bleeding Skittles, shooting Skittles in their face and shit. That was pretty cool. Interesting stuff.
I'll kick off the grading for this one with I'm gonna go C+. It could maybe deserve a little bit more, but it had like I don't know, man. Like I really want to forgive them for the acting. Like I don't even think the acting was that bad. I think he wanted the acting to be like this. Like specifically, think about that character that I'm talking about, the one that wanted to propose, that did propose. The whole time he's so annoying. Like he was like the worst of them all. And he was like,
both the guys.
Yeah, both the guys were pretty fucking terrible. You're right. But there's something about that. Like it sold that joke so well. Like when he's like, will you marry me? And you're thinking, fuck no, don't marry this guy. You know what I mean? It kind of made it work.
Who are you people? Why do you have a camera? I don't want to be on camera. I am a video photographer. Like, bro, sit your happy ass down.
All right, C+ for me. What you giving it?
Yeah, I'll give this one. I'll give this one a C. There is an idea there, but a gracious C at that. But I was not. The only acting I thought was redeemable was the main chick in the green shirt. She seemed to be a little bit. She started off shit, but she kind of was on a different level by the end in some sort of way. Maybe it's because she was a final girl, but she didn't seem to have like as much corny dialogue or delivery. But the acting was.
You'll probably know what this means. FNAF.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, okay, duh. Okay, yeah, that's what you said. There could be a crossover.
My kid. That's the only reason I know that shit.
He's not human. Yeah, I don't know. It did quite. That's why it gets the plus for me, because it's just a little bit above average for how many times I did actually laugh on the second viewing. But all right, moving on to the next one, Kid Print. Kid Print by Alex Ross Perry.
Not that Alex Ross.
Alex Ross Perry. I was like, no shit for a second. But this one, I thought this one was pretty cool. Like story-wise, they don't like come out and flat out say it right off the bat. They're just kind of you've got this guy that he runs a place where it's like a photography place, and they're taking pictures of all these kids on Halloween night to get up-to-date current pictures of them, because
I was confused by that.
There's like this epidemic of kidnappings happening in their town. So that's what's going. Everybody's like on high alert, and they're like, "Oh, we got to get all of our kids photographs so that if they go missing, we've got current, up-to-date pictures of them." Was the idea behind it? This is, I guess, this one probably took place in the '90s or whatever too. Obviously, pre-digital cameras and whatnot. But so as it's going through that, you've got this main character, and you're just assuming, or at least I was, that he's the killer. That's what you're thinking you're going to find out. He leaves that place, just his vibe. You're like, this dude probably kills kids. You meet his family and shit. And then the cops talk to him. And they're like, yeah, we just lost another one. We need you to run down to the store and get the tape of this girl. So we've got our up-to-date video of this young lady. And then when he goes there, we find out that one of his employees that we met earlier is actually the killer, and he's got some kids down in the basement of his shop right now, and he gets caught up in that. I thought this one was another one that was really well made. This might be like my second favorite one out of the whole batch. I thought this one was really good.
No, yeah, this one I was confused with the whole like how much of those up-to-date pictures, how much of justice is that really gonna do? Like it seemed because that was his business. I was confused by that.
It's the same thing with his whole idea is I'm gonna record everything at all times because there's kids being abducted. It was like they were like, that'll work, whatever. In the writing room, like, yeah, right.
They won't notice. But no, I this one was very good at being like misleading because it's like the whole time you do think this dude is the killer. Like when you think he's going back to the shop to get the stuff for the police, it's because he's trying to. It comes off like he's trying to cover his tracks before they catch him. But then you find out it was fucking Stanley from The Office. He reminded me of Stanley from The Office.
He had
And the only reason I say that because he kind of reminded me of him was like he kind of had like the demeanor of Stan, like I'm just sitting here doing my job, now I had leave me alone. And Stanley from The Office was you could see him becoming like he's very disgruntled in a sense. And this guy was he's very troubled outside of being disgruntled. But yeah, he just gave me like with Stanley went off the deep end vibes. Like if Stanley finally fucking snapped and took out everyone in the office, that'd be how he did it.
It's the classic case of you meet this person, he seems super unassuming. It's the last person that you would kind of think is the kid killer.
Yeah.
And yeah, you wouldn't expect Stanley to be killing kids.
Okay, so I did enjoy this one there was one scene that when he goes to the office and Stanley fucking picks him up and throws him in the room with the kid's face to be cut off, and the kids just attack the dude. That confused me because Stanley brings in another chick.
Yeah.
And he throws her in there, and then they just decide to attack him.
See, I don't know. Yeah, I was kind of assuming that the killer like told him, "Hey, I'll let you go if you go kill this guy," because that was brutal too. Right?
Yeah,
they're like there was really good effects throughout this whole thing. It had really good effects.
The skin peeling was fucking.
Movie. Yeah, they're like beating him in the head with like a hammer or something, and the stabbing him in the stomach. Yeah, I was confused by that too. That was kind of my assumption that either they were like they had been there so long that they had become deranged or brainwashed and kind of controlled by this guy or something. Yeah,
but no, it's
such a weird business idea. Profitable.
Yeah, I was like, I don't see how a business could thrive off that one subject, but. This one had the most sinister tone to it, I would say. Like, I think it's because like the kids giving like those crying and the videos and shit like that while he's interviewing them.
K.O.J. saying, I think Kid Print will be considered the most controversial of the Halloween anthology. At first, I thought you were saying the entire VHS franchise, but yeah, I think just because of the way it involves kids and the tone of it.
Yeah,
like you could if you were killed a bunch of kids in Fun Size, yeah, whatever. But like this one,
turned into candy.
Yeah, nobody would care. But they did kill it. They did kill a kid at the end of that one. But
the family that got sucked in.
Which was another really stupid thing. He comes up and he goes, "I took 2. Is that bad?" It's like why would you have any reason to think that that's bad other than that just to let us know that
because she read yeah.
But yeah, I thought this one was really good. It wasn't super eventful. Even like I took little notes on my second watch through, and even though this is one that I enjoyed more than a lot of them, I barely have any notes written down because there wasn't a whole shitload that happened. I just like the structure, and again, this one had pretty good acting. The killer, like his performance, I thought was pretty fucking great.
Yeah.
He's wearing human flesh and everything. Like this was the darkest one for sure.
Oh, that when the kid was trying to put his fucking face back on or whatever, that had been cut off his face. That was sick.
That was fucked up. Yeah, I forgot about that. That was crazy.
This one I think it didn't have as many money shots as the other ones, but where it lacked in that area, it made up for it in terms of like just idea and just the vibe. Like Fun Size. It was more for the candy special effects and look at this goofy ass it wasn't worried about creating atmosphere. I mean atmosphere in a sense, but it wasn't they didn't want to come off as sinister undertones or creepy or anything like that. This one's going for a certain vibe and it achieved that.
Right, hell yeah. Go ahead and kick us off with your score.
This one I'll give this one a B+. I give this one a B+. I think there's, this is another one where it's this
might be right there with you again. Go on, sorry.
No, it reminded me. I was like, kind of like not really Black Phone, but I was like, man, there's an idea. Like dealing with kids and death is always creepy and troubling. But this could be a more darker version of like Black Phone, because in this one, in Black Phone, it's kind of like heavenly bodies, like the way they approach children death, like it's you always see like the ghost of the children afterwards. And
Right.
this one, it'd be like more like this one was kind of like a Saw for kids almost,
Right.
like a Saw with kids. So it could be pretty gnarly.
It was good. I think I even liked it the first time that I saw it a little bit better. It was just the fact that there wasn't that, like I already said, there wasn't that many great moments
And
in it.
iconic,
It was just the
yeah,
idea, and I was like, hell yeah, that was really good. But then a rewatch, it was like not a whole shitload happens. So for that reason, I'm right there with you, brother. I'm giving it a B plus as well. All right, let's jump into the last one, Home Haunt by Michelin Pitt Norman and R.H. Norman. I'm assuming that's a married couple. That's adorable. Again, they had no Wikipedia, these people, so I had no idea. I don't know what they've done before this. This might be the first. It's definitely the first significant thing that they've done. But basically, in this one, it starts out, and you've got this father and this son. And the kid's like, 8, 10 years old or whatever. And every year they build this haunted house. The dad loves it. The kid loves it. He plays Igor. The dad plays Dr. Mortis. And this kid is Dr. Mortis's assistant. When they're living the fucking good life, they're both loving it. And then it flashes forward to like 10 years later. This kid now has grown up as Igor, Dr. Mortis's son. He's got kids at school making fun of him. He resents his father. The dad still wants to do it. This kid is super fucking annoyed by the whole situation. He gets conned into doing it again, and which is cool. I really like the themes behind that. It was a nice little setup. There's a couple fathers here. It's like, yeah, I can see that happening. And then they end up going to this pawn shop or whatever, this thrift store. They steal this record from this sectioned off part of the thrift store that they're not supposed to go into. Love the artwork on that thing.
yeah,
I love that kind of like comic booky horror art, goblins
like
and
old school
witches.
cult.
Yeah, like just that. Yeah, like, fucking, I love that style of art. That album looks so cool. But they go to the haunted house this year. They put that album on, and then basically it's like the episode of Buffy the Vampire season 1 where everyone becomes their costumes. All of the bits in the haunted house come to life. So they've got a witch, so there's a real witch. All the fake ghosts are real ghosts, and so on. And it's just, it's another one that's just fun. Once the chaos hits, it's just a bunch of running around, screaming, and pretty fun bits until the movie's over, more or less. But it was solid for sure. Really good effects. Really good effects throughout the whole thing. And another funny, fun, kind of light, kind of dark, kind of fun, kind of sad.
Yeah,
short. That I like this one. What'd you think?
this one it was so. This one was okay for me. Like I didn't hate it, I didn't love it, but I'll tell you one thing. It reminded me of, I think this was on the first VHS, the date night one where the three friends go out. They bring that chick home.
Right.
She fucking slaughters them all and
That's
takes off.
That's what I was thinking when old boy earlier said this is the most when I thought he was saying Kid Print was the most controversial one in the franchise.
This one,
I was like, shit, that first one.
yeah,
the one that you're talking about where they date raped that girl. Like that one was always fucked me up.
Yeah, but kids are such a touchy subject for some people. I mean, and that date rape that's a gnarly subject. But everyone, that's a universal sensitivity is for people as kids.
Right, right. Well, let me read this by Stu. Back to the last one, just because he's praising me. He says, "Yes, Fern." 3 exclamation marks. That means he means it. He says, "I liked a little bit of misdirection. How you just knew it was him, but wasn't. Really worked on me. Also, when we went to Blockbuster and had these tapes made when I was younger." Oh, yeah.
Did you?
That's funny, man. Yeah, your parents loved you, Stu.
I didn't know that was a thing. Wow.
My family did not give a fuck. Says having that actual experience as a kid made this one hit home a bit in a cool way. That's awesome, man.
Hold on. Hold on. He made kid home videos like of the.
I think he's talking about like actual like preventative measures in case he gets abducted.
Oh wow.
Videos. I assume that's what he's saying.
Wow.
Interesting.
I thought, yeah. But this one reminded me of the first. Oh no, sorry. This reminded me of the first one in the sense where it's like that one was okay. The first one, the date night one, until the very end, that was like a hook. I was like, oh shit, This one was like the same for me, the haunted house one, where it's like I didn't really care for majority of it, but the ending with the fucking witch on a broom, bro, fucking ripping people's spines out of their, you know, and impaling kids as she takes them to the sky. That's gnarly. That's some shit. It made up for everything else in the film. I was like, that sort of idea. Like, how many fucking witch movies do we have where we have like a default looking witch that's doing gnarly shit, like throwing people into acid? Like, I want to see a witch throw someone into an acid bath. I want to see her fucking, you know, impale people with her fucking witch broom or something like that. You know, like there's an idea there. You know, that last couple seconds was amazing for me.
I just love like the iconic witch look. Like the big nose, the wart. You're right. Like, how many movies are there like that that are actually meant to be scary?
Right.
You know what I mean? There's the kid, like The Witches, the kids movie where they look super scary. But also the executioner bit before that, because it's like a slasher movie. It gets pretty fucking gory. That bit was pretty great too. The one
I like how they teamed up.
I love the effect when he smashes that woman, splits that woman's head open. That was really fucking cool. That was great. That was like, it became a slasher movie for like a couple minutes at that point.
No, yeah, that was a highlight, man, because I was like, oh my god, I wanted, like, it reminded me of what's, I think he's called, I was gonna say The Reaper, but in why can I not think it's Silent Hill. Okay, it reminded me of that fucking dude that carries around this. He's got like this long fucking juggernaut helmet, but he carries around this long fucking like axe reaper thing.
I know what you're talking about. I know the look. SoCal Dan, what up, brother? I know. Yeah, I've seen the look. What was I just gonna say? Oh, this is just a very, very random fun fact. If you're super fucking hardcore, I think your name is Lizzie Johnston, and she played an Exorcist believer. When you get these little flashes of the demons, like at the end, and little intercut a little bit here and there throughout the movie, she plays like the demon that is from Exorcist Believer. She played the ghost in this, and we follow each other on Instagram. That's the only reason why I know. I had like a viral short go on with her in it. We communicated at one point, but I saw her share that today that she was that witch as well. Wicked Witch of the West, says KO Joe. Silent motherfucking Hill. Says hey on. What up? Yeah, I appreciate all you guys being in here. All right, back to Home on. Yeah, I really have nothing much else to say on it, other than I really like the effects, man. And like I said, it ramped up. It ramped up when it was supposed to, and then the movie just ended, so it left me feeling like okay. And I like the performance. Maybe one of the best performances in the whole movie was the kid, the older version of the kid. Like I connected with that young man. I don't know. There was something about his situation.
No, yeah, it had like you said earlier, us being fathers, I think we can identify with, even though we're not at that stage yet where our kids resent us.
Right,
not yet. We got time.
We'll get in there.
But that is something I thought that I think crosses every parent's mind.
This you're talking about, and is this
Pyramid Head? Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I've seen that. That's awesome.
And there's campy, corny moments in this short with the dad and everything, but it worked because it's like, I'm gonna be that corny dad hopefully one day, where it's, where my kid's like, come on dad, this is just lame, and where it's like the corny acting and fun size I couldn't let that slide, but in this one I was able to let it slide. Like, it's a father son dynamic. He's got dad humor, of course there's gonna be an Eric Corn to him,
Dude, my kid's 3, and I've already had her be like, Dad. She's already done that to me. Like, you're a jackass, bro. What up, Sal? By the way, appreciate you popping in, my dude. All right, so let's rate this bad boy. Get up out of here. I know you got shit to do, man. You're heading over to Pop Culture Philosophers to talk City of the Living Dead. That's going on in 15 minutes as Horror Fest rolls on over on Pop Culture Philosophers. But go ahead, lay it on me, man. What is or I guess I'll kick it off for this one. I'm gonna go. See, this is why I like doing the letter grade. A B- for this one, because I thought it wasn't all nothing that special. And you're right, the beginning was, whatever. But when it kicked off and it ramped up, I really did like a lot of the effects that we got. And again, the aesthetic,
the ghost,
the look of everything, the ghost. Yeah, I liked his neighbor. His ghost looks like shit, Phil, or whatever the fuck his name is. He just hates him. He's like, I'm just here to shit on your haunted house. I hate you. I love that. They didn't give any reason for it. He's just got this neighbor that fucking hates him, and I like that. But a B- for me.
B-. I'm right there with you. Because I was thinking like a C plus, but like I said, that last couple seconds, bro, like that shit like that is like, it's just a source of like a, a, a kernel of inspiration or something, or like,
Mhm.
it could that there's so much potential there in those last couple seconds. It's I appreciate the inspiration. So yeah, I'll give this one a B minus as well. Like you said, it's not shit, but it's like how for a haunted horror horse short, it is
Mhm.
very effective. Like it's how much mileage can you get out of that? Like
It
with
is.
sheep ghosts and
It's weird that we got like 3 haunted house shorts out of the 5, because Fun Size is kind of a haunted house short in a way. It feels like it, at least to a degree,
ooh, this
to
is a
me. Oh well, hold on. I wanted to, before I forget this, because I just wrote this down.
what's that?
Did you realize that at the end scene, like when the witch comes out of this area right here, and the scene that we're talking about, where she goes and stabs the mummy, that looks like it's the same neighborhood from Fun Size. I'm pretty fucking sure it is, and I thought that was pretty cool to have a little
Oh,
little continuity there. I'm almost sure it's the same neighborhood. But
I
what were
didn't
you
peep
gonna say?
that, but I could appreciate that if it was. But
Yeah.
no, that you reminded me. I meant to because there's something I noticed about. I was like, how is there a certain criteria you have to hit in order for it to be considered Halloween movie? Like, does it have to have obviously Halloween? I get that, but you have to have costumes. Does it have to involve a haunted house?
Hmm.
Like I was kind of thinking, I did like I said earlier, I do appreciate the themes. It keeps people on track, keeps it focused.
Right.
But like you said, when we got like 3 out of 5 of them focus on like fucking haunted houses and shit, or being trapped in
Right.
a haunted area, like it's do we not
I
have that much?
I definitely think when people think Halloween movie, they're thinking like less slasher, which is weird because they obviously have Halloween, but more supernatural,
Super
right?
okay,
And
spooky,
for me,
yeah,
it's just got to
yeah,
be on Halloween night. I need a fucking
yeah.
pumpkin.
That's
I need a pumpkin.
yeah.
If you don't have a pumpkin, you're not Halloween. That's probably the biggest criteria to me. So K.O. Joe said I actually love this bit because it rounded up the anthology, giving it a B plus. I feel you, brother. So Cal Dan saying VHS Beyond was way better to me. I would say
I thought it was
I
better. I
would
enjoyed it.
definitely say it was better. I liked that one
Yeah,
better. I don't know if I would say it was way better because I really
yeah.
did. I really did. In my opinion, they're all too long. I want to say, I'm curious because I was wondering this earlier. I think VHS Beyond was like an hour and a half. Oh, hold on. VHS Beyond. I want to say it was. Oh, never mind. It's the exact fucking same runtime. An hour and
Wow.
54 minutes. Exactly the same. So, yeah, I don't know. There's something about it. Like, they're long. Maybe that's not too long for a lot of people, but an hour and 54, it does seem
You
a
would
little
think
bit
like an
long on the
hour
end of it.
30, well, hour 45 would be tap out time for this.
Did the boy and his parents survive at the end? KO Joe says, I do
I
not
don't think
know.
so.
Oh, how about the bit like when the last thing that they flash to is the hands right here in this image becoming real, like this
Oh, in the
giant devil is
building.
about to fucking get up. I
Yeah.
thought that was really cool too. It was a good way to end it. It really was like a really chaotic, wild way to end it. And I'm glad they didn't kind of go back to Diet Phantasma. Because although I enjoyed that, there wasn't enough story there for it to be the thing that we had to go wrap up at the end. I thought this
Just
was a
bits for a
nice,
commercial.
chaotic way to end the thing. But so what the fuck is that? Well, let's go through. I gave it we gave it really similar grades throughout. I gave it a B minus, or I gave individually B minus, an A, C plus, B plus, B minus. I think I'm calling that a B. Calling that a fucking B. I feel good with that. Something like that. Yeah, feels like a B to me. So I call that like if I was to give it
Overall.
an
Yeah,
out of,
yeah,
yeah, overall, I
yeah.
would give it a 3.75. If I was to give it an out of 5 grade,
Yes.
3.75. What about you?
Yeah, I so I would say
Yeah,
beyond, not to backtrack on that.
no, yeah.
That's like a B plus. So I would say yeah, this one wasn't way worse, or the other one wasn't way better, but I would say it's a little below. So I would say
Mm-hmm.
this one's a solid B. I'd give it like a 3.69, 3.75.
3.69. Yeah, I like that. Or because like a 3.5 seems pretty fair too. Three and
Yeah,
a
yeah.
half, 3.75. But it was fun. And like we said, I'm not even the hugest fan of the franchise, So for me, I feel like it's trending in the right direction.
Yeah.
And I love this. Like, give me one once a year on Shudder this time of year.
Yep.
Fuck yeah. Every year at Horror Fest, we'll do this. That sounds great. You know, it's cool that they can do that because it doesn't, you know, the format, the structure of the franchise, you can have a bunch of people that could be working on it right now. 5 different ones.
Yep.
But hell yeah, man. This was fun. Appreciate all you guys in the chat hanging out with us. And again, first off, right after this, go over City of the Living Dead, Pop Culture Philosophers, starting in 10 minutes. Link's going to go take a piss, hit his pipe, and he will be over there ready to party with the crew over on PCP. And then Thursday night, man, really excited about this. I know Stu said he's doing family movie night. I think tonight they're going to watch Jeepers Creepers, which is Link's pick, and we're talking about it Thursday as Horror Fest 2025 rolls on. I'm excited, man. I think my wife's probably going to want to watch this too. This is like her movie. This is like her. Well, Scream is her favorite all-time horror movie, but I feel like this is the one from her childhood.
That she got some good taste.
Yeah,
she loves. She married you, so clearly, you know, she got some great taste. But no, she got some.
Hell yeah, man. Kojo says Diet Phantasm was just a running gag. Well said. Exactly what it was, man. Which was fun. The Rothschild head researcher reminded me of John Landis.
I could see that.
Oh, okay, yeah. And he was great. I thought he was really fucking good. There were some, like almost every one of them hit. Almost every one of the Diet Phantasma points. Nothing super special about him, but every time I got
entertaining.
Entertaining.
Yeah.
Hyun's excited about Jeepers Creepers. Hell yeah, man. I went to try to buy this thing. It's not streaming anywhere for free. You can't even buy the Blu-ray unless you buy like a French edition of part 1 and 2. And I'm not even positive it's in English. I wonder if it's because of all of the controversy around the director, which we'll obviously talk about on Thursday. Real interesting. But hell yeah, man. So let's get about this bitch. I appreciate all you guys in the chat. Again, head over to Pop Culture Philosophers right now and hang out and wait for the homies to be talking City of the Living Dead. Link will be over there with you. Appreciate you, and we will see you Thursday.
Peace.
For Jeepers Creepers. He said peace. Oh, he said it. He said it. The fuck are you guys still doing here? I told you, go over to PCP. Fuck, man. Tony is sitting here. Get out of here. PCP. Have fun.